Mars transits to the zodiac of Cancer, which is its debilitation point, and it's very impactful for all of us and the entire world. That's what I talk about today. Welcome to Vedic Astrotimes and a very warm pranal. On May 10th, Mars will move from its current zodiac, Gemini, to the next zodiac of Cancer, and Mars debilitates in Cancer. And it's going to be in Cancer until June 30th, so it's about 50-day transit. Why does Mars debilitate in Cancer? Well, Mars is all about fire, action, passion, and energy, and it's represented by fire. It's a fiery planet. It's a very hot planet. And Cancer is ruled by the moon, so it's represented by water. It's a water sign. So it's essentially like taking this big bowl of fire and putting it in water where it's completely doused. The flames of Mars are doused, which means the energy of Mars is taken away and hence it's debilitated. Mars represents action and passion, like I said. Mars represents the fire within us. It represents our blood. It represents courage and bravery. It represents the fire that we carry within us to fight the battles of life, to move ahead. Mars gives us that energy, the bravery that we need to take action when we need to take any kind of action in our life. Action to move ahead, action to protect ourselves, action to protect our loved ones. Cancer, on the other hand, is ruled by, like I said, the moon. The moon represents our mind, emotions, sensitivity, and our mother, and it represents the softer side of our personality. It has nothing to do with action. It has to do with feelings. So both of these are very contradictory in nature. Hence, Mars debilitates in Cancer. Mars is considered the army general of the birth chart. It's the fighter. It represents the fighting spirit, or it represents the fighters, or the fighting within us. When you take a soldier that's going to fight in battle and you tell that soldier, well, you need to think about the emotions of the enemy and all that, they're not going to be able to do their job well. And this is exactly what Mars does in Cancer, where you take it and you tell it, well, don't fight, just think about the emotions, sensitivities, feelings of the other people that you're fighting against. They're not going to be able to do their job well. And this is exactly the reason why Mars debilitates in Cancer, because like I said, extremely contradictory in nature. What does it do at a personal level when Mars debilitates? This is exactly what it does, is where we want to take action, we want to move forward, we are full of passion, we want to do action, we want to move ahead in life or take certain actions, but our feelings and our emotions stop us. We don't take all the necessary actions that we need to take. What that does is it causes repressed frustration, repressed anger. And then what that does is eventually leads to anger, volatile, anger against other people, because it's considered like a repressed anger within us because the inability to act. We haven't acted like we wanted to. So the negative side of Mars is anger, violence, heated arguments. And those are all the negative sides of Mars where we start fighting for no reason. We tell other people off and, we pick up arguments and quarrels because this is the factor of frustration that's been building up against us. So this is one of the main significations of why Mars debilitates in Cancer and what it does at an internal level within us. It creates this push and pull within us where we want to take something, we want to do something, we want to move forward. We want to have this courage and bravery to move ahead, yet at the same time our emotions hold us back, and so it causes a lot of repressed feelings. Libra denotes the balancing of our emotions in relationships, where we balance the give and take in relationships. And that's the signification of Libra. And now when Mars aspects Libra and it aspects Ketu, Ketu is destructive basically in nature. It's also separative in nature. It's going to be destructive in terms of relationships. So we need to be very cautious when we're handling relationships and our anger towards relationships. This is going to be a challenging time for that. So I want everybody to be very cautious about that. The other aspect is going to be the 8th aspect of Mars, which is extremely dangerous as well. So the 8th aspect of Mars is going to be on Aquarius. And Aquarius, we all know who's sitting in Aquarius, and Saturn has been sitting in Aquarius since January. And that's very dangerous because Mars and Saturn are enemy planets. And when Mars aspects its enemy, what do you think we do when we look at our enemy? When we look at somebody that we don't like and we get very angry, right? We get in a bad mood. So that's exactly what Mars is going to do this time in its debilitation, is that it's debilitated. It can't do anything. And now it looks at it's aspecting its enemy Saturn. And so it's especially damaging. So all the Mars related things that are going to be dangerous. So the Mars related things are dangerous, I said, which means your physical body getting hurt, saying nasty things, getting into arguments, violence, anger. So this is an especially very challenging period, not only for us at a personal level, but also for the world. When you have the Jupiter-Rahu conjunction in Aries, Aries is ruled by Mars. Now the ruler of that house of Aries is now debilitated. And so there's another challenge coming up. So some of this whole planetary alignment for the next 50 days is going to be pretty challenging, disturbing for all of us. The energy is very disturbed at this time. So, we need to have certain cautions. One of the main cautions I would tell you is to keep your emotions in check, to keep your anger in check, and most of it is to keep your communication in check. So, try not to get into conflicts, especially in the workplace. Now, if you get into conflicts in the workplace, you could lose your job because the aspect of Saturn on it, Saturn rules your career, could be extremely damaging. This is not the time to test your relationships and put your ego out there and fight for yourself. Mars is protective in nature, so it likes to fight for causes. It likes to fight for itself. You will lose the battle, so don't start these wars, these little battles in your relationships at work. This is not the time. Mars rules the land, real estate, earth, and Jupiter rules air. So there's the probability of natural disasters, man-made disasters like floods, earthquakes, or even fire incidents, extreme heat conditions that can also happen during this time in the world. And especially in the places that saw the solar and the lunar eclipse was visible. Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, North America, much of South America, Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Ocean, Arctic, Antarctica are the places that we saw the solar and lunar eclipse. So those very high probability that things can happen in those areas. So I think people are just going to go out and splurge and get into very high loan activity where they take on too much loans. And so you guys have to be very careful about that because people are just going to lose that ability to think through things and not take on too much debt. So you need to think very carefully before you take on too much debt or go out of your way and spend a lot in this transit. The possibility of loss of jobs of a lot of people because of the involvement of Saturn in this transit is also possible. So do your best and stay out of trouble at work. And then from a health perspective, Mars rules the blood pressure, your blood-related ailments, and then your chest. So if you suffer from hypertension, just take very good care of your health. If you have chest-related issues, like heart-related issues, I think you should take good care of your health. I don't mean to scare anybody at all. I don't think that all the people in the world are going to get high blood pressure or anything at all. But just take good care of your health. Make sure that you don't worry, you don't stress out so much. So kind of keep calm. And so those are the general predictions that I think is going to happen. As the remedies, do Hanuman Chalisa from Hindu faith, especially on Tuesdays. And so if you're like follow the Christian religion, you can definitely use your rosary and kind of do some chanting to calm your mind down. And for the people that are, Islamic religion, I know you do the festivities. So you can, I think I said it right. So you can certainly do that. So chanting of mantras, whatever it is your favorite mantra for whatever faith that you practice will always be very, very helpful. The other thing that really does control Mars is meditation. Now, why do I say that? It's because meditation activates the Jupiter within you. Because when you breathe deeply, you're activating the air in your body, which is Jupiter. So it activates Jupiter, which is why meditation is always suggested when you're having challenging times. The other good remedy is, you can do workouts, physical workouts, because Mars is your body. So if you do good physical workout, physical regimen, going for a walk, it kind of alleviates the debilitated Mars energy in your body. Now I move on to predictions, but if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. And this video is so important and it has so much caution that you need to take during those next couple of months. Make sure you share it with friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe. Channel, consider subscribing. If you are new to my channel, consider subscribing. Aries, this is not the time to start fighting for what you believe are your rights in the workplace. This will end badly. Any speculative activities or investments, you need to be very cautious. Think very carefully before you do anything on that. Also, any job changes or career changes that are tempting right now, you need to think through things very carefully before you jump on anything like that or make changes in your career. You also need to take very, very good care of your mother's health during this time. A lot of Aries people may have the temptation to spend on real estate or buy real estate or have real estate transaction, and that's okay to do. Just make sure that you take a lot of care before you do any purchases. Make sure you do all your homework. check out all the details before you actually do this. Don't do anything impulsively or don't do anything in haste without checking the details. If you make sure you've checked everything, then it's okay to do that. For Aries people, this debilitated Mars transit can mean some life-altering changes, some transformation that it brings to you. The changes could relate to two things. One could be your marital status and the other one could be related to your career. So lots of Aries people will go through significant life-altering events during this transit. Like I said, job change, status change in your marriage, and a lot of Aries people are already going through issues in their marriage at this time because of the fact that Ketu has been present in their 7th house. So Aries people are having a disturbance in their marriage. But at this time, there's also a chance that careers change for Aries people. And if it's none of those changes, then your physical appearance might change. You know, you may have changes in your body structure or the way you look, or you may make changes to your physical appearance. But again, very transformative phase for Aries people. Taurus. Taurus, for you, Cancer is in the 3rd house, which rules your strength, your energy, your initiative, and your drive to do things. Taurus, this is a transit that may make you feel like your energy is drained and you have no initiative to do anything. You may also lose your peace of mind and have some sleep issues. This is a time when you want to do new things, start new initiatives in your career, and you may feel frustrated because they won't go anywhere, or whatever you did do in the past, you don't see the results of them yet. So you need to have patience and don't get frustrated with the lack of progress that you may see in your career. Just have patience and work through this energy for now. Even if you do get frustrated at your job or career, don't take it out on co-workers or don't let your frustration show at work. Maintain very good relationships with everybody in the workplace, your co-workers as well as your seniors. Anything that you do to rock the boat at work in as far as combative communication, arguments, discussions will not end well for you. The other disturbance occurs within your marriage if you're married. So there's going to be the tendency to get argumentative or have conflicts within the marriage. And some of these could relate to excessive spending habits. So this is an expensive time for you, so you do need to control your spending at this time. Don't spend impulsively or unnecessarily. You know, try to save as much as you can and avoid conflicts within the marriage. This is a time when you need to take very good care of your own health as well as the health of your father. Maintaining a very good physical exercise regimen, any physical workout will actually be a very good remedy for you. This is also a time when you maintain a very, very good relationship with your father. In fact, if there's anything that you want guidance on, this is a good time for you to get it from him. The 9th house is getting aspected. He's going to be a very good guide and a mentor for you. Also, staying close to the divine is actually going to help get you through this challenging transit. If you do travel, make sure you're very cautious. You take very good care of yourself, your belongings, as well as your health while you're traveling. Stay away from unsafe places. Don't get adventurous and make sure you're eating very healthy or not some strange foods that can make you sick at this time. If you do have excessive sleep issues or mental worries or lack of energy, meditation will work wonders for you as a remedy. Gemini. Gemini, for you, Cancer is the 2nd house which rules your family, your food, your finances. This transit makes you struggle to maintain your resources and finance, and you try to save your money as much as you can. You're really going to be focused on thinking of new ways to manage your money, or new ways, I should say, to make money. And so that's fine as long as you think through things carefully. The 8th house is getting impacted, which means there could be losses. But if you think through things very carefully, there's gains to be had. So you really need to think through things very carefully when it comes to financial management. Your career may also take some unexpected twists and turns, and this may be due to your aggressive speech and combative communication. In fact, because your 2nd house is where Mars is debilitated, 2nd house is the house of speech. So this style of communication, which is going to be a little aggressive, a little combative, and where you start discussions with everybody, may damage your relationships unless it's controlled early on in the transit. So the ability to damage your marital relationship or your relationship with children and even your love life is very high. So the 2nd house also rules the food you eat. So you can't be too adventurous in the new foods that you try out, or if you're eating stuff that doesn't agree with you, it's going to give you digestive issues. So you have the Mars debilitated in the 2nd house and you have it activating or aspecting the 8th house. The 8th house is a house of sudden unexpected challenges and obstacles that come up. So it could relate to your health as well. So you need to really take very good care of your diet. You need to take very good care of how you're talking to people. Otherwise, you could have permanently damaged relationships. You also could damage your health at this time. So don't be adventurous with your food at this time. Make sure you eat things that you know you can digest and handle. And also make sure your communication is very, very cordial. Otherwise, it can damage relationships at a permanent level. And lastly, but certainly not the least, is don't take on too much credit card debt or loans or overextend yourself in that manner. Also, if whatever loans you do give out, there's a chance that they won't get paid back. So be very careful as far as loans is concerned. Cancer. Cancer, for you, of course, this is your Lagna sign, your ascendant sign. So it rules your physical body and your emotional thoughts and feelings. Cancer, for you, this is, of course, your Lagna sign, your ascendant sign. So it rules your physical body and your emotional studies and passions. Cancer, you're presumably one of the most affected ascendants because the conveyance of Mars occurs in your ascendant house. So this is a time when there will be some cerebral enterprises and stress as well as some health challenges. This conveyance will make you redundant emotional. Cancer is always emotional, but this will really change you a lot and make you indeed more emotional towards people. Mars gives you that feeling of frustration towards family members, at home, and most importantly towards your partner. And there will also be some work-related pressure. There may not be a valid reason for this frustration or wrathfulness. It's just passing through, that is how you feel. Thus, people may not give you a valid reason to be angry with them. This is exactly how you'll feel. You'll imagine that they gave you a reason, and also that wrathfulness will overwhelm you. This pent-up wrathfulness is actually damaging to your health. So one of the instantiations of this wrathfulness could be digestive issues, and most likely it will be specifically your lower gut. Drink lots and lots of water to get relief of those digestive issues, and it also helps calm the mind because you're ruled by the moon. The moon is associated with water. So drinking lots of cold water kind of calms the body down as well. That could also mean that there could be some changes in the workplace for some Cancer ascendants. You know, because you have to be prepared that there could be sudden unexpected events and things that occur. These could be at work, it could be related to your children, it could be related to your love life. I'm just saying that something that you didn't know about would occur, and then you're not prepared to handle it. So just make yourself very flexible and very adaptable, and don't become so rigid with this pent-up frustration. So that's the best way you could deal with it. One of the good things will be that you'll have a lot of energy at work to complete all the tasks that probably didn't get completed for a long time. So all of a sudden you're going to feel very energetic and start doing all this work in the workplace. And the only other guidance that I can possibly give you is to work on your mental stress level. And meditation is very, very good for you. Mantra chanting is very good for you. Trying to go for a walk, just kind of relax. It kind of takes all those things together and makes a good remedy when you just kind of go for a nice quiet walk. It helps to take away this tension that Mars is going to give you in the body, or the stress that it creates in your mind. I know it's a tough transit for Cancer, but again, like I said, go for a walk, some meditation, drinking lots of cold water. It's a short transit and it'll just go by fast. Leo. Leo, for you, Cancer is the 12th house, which means that it rules your expenses. It rules foreign travels. It also rules spirituality for you. Leo, this transit points to the rise in expenses and a strain on your finances that will give you some stress and worry. This may also cause a disturbance in your marriage, so try your best not to get into conflicts with your spouse about finances and spending. Make sure that you stay away from any conflicts with your business partner as well. However, if you are involved in any legal issues, there can be a favorable settlement in your favor, but try to avoid getting into any new legal issues. There can be chances of travel during this transit, and if you do travel, take very good care of your health. Avoid any unfamiliar places or don't be adventurous. Don't do any risky activities. This is also a time when you need to manage your relationships or take very good care of your relationships with your siblings as well as, like I said, with your marital partner. Don't get combative or start arguments and fights with them. And also take very good care of manage your spending habits. There's a chance you get into a loan situation or a debt situation. W. Like I said, one of the remedies is to make sure you have a very good physical exercise workout regimen. Even if you just go for a walk, it's going to work wonders for you. The sixth house is getting aspected, which means small minor health issues can come up, nothing serious. But if they do, a regular, physical regimen, exercise, walk will be the remedy for that. Virgo, for you, Cancer is your 11th house, which rules your material gains, your network of friends, and also your social circle. Virgo, for you, lots of finance houses are now activated. So in fact, this transit is not bad for you at all. You will be chances of monetary benefits from your efforts. There can be new opportunities for income as well as extra earnings for those that are employed as well as the business owners. In fact, if you are a person that gets paid on commission basis, there's a very good opportunity for income for you as well. The only thing that you have to make sure is that you're working very hard and you're working honestly if you want to get the monetary benefit that this transit promises. Now, the only challenge that Virgo has at this time is the communication and the manner of speech that can be very damaging. Ketu has been in the second house and it's destructive in nature. So now this is going to get enhanced, and so your combative and aggressive speech pattern is going to be much more enhanced. And so this has the potential to permanently damage key relationships in your life. You need to manage what you say, how you say, and the words that you speak to people, everybody, whether they're co-workers, whether they're family members, and especially your spouse, because the sixth house is getting activated. Now the fifth house gets aspected too, so this manner of communication also applies to your children, your love life, because you need to be very courteous, you need to be polite. Don't start quarrels, fights, raise your voice and get mad, because this has a very damaging impact on them, or on the relationship, I should say. The other small caution that I have is you need to take good care of your health. Dominantly, the caution needs to be around your diet and what you eat. Because when the second and the sixth house both get aspected, then it could lead to digestive issues. So what you eat is very important. Make sure you eat fresh food, healthy food, and generally take very good care of your diet. Otherwise, there could be severe digestive issues. And lastly, you need to drive very carefully. Don't do anything risky or adventurous because the chance of getting injured or hurt is high at this time. Libra, for you, Cancer is the 10th house, and that denotes your career, your social status, your social standing. Libra, this transit can be somewhat strong in terms of career for you, but there is a condition for that, and that is that you need to manage the negative energy of Mars really well. What that means is that you need to manage your attitude and behavior as well as your speech pattern and how you treat people in the workplace. You need to be extraordinarily professional in the workplace. You need to manage your relationships extremely well at work. You need to resist the temptation to pick up fights and get into altercations at work. It could end up damaging and hurting you in your career rather than helping you. So that's the negative energy of Mars, where the temptation is to start quarreling, picking up fights, getting into ego battles. As long as you can stay away from that and become very professional in your approach with people, stay very pleasant. This transit can actually help you gain ground in your career, actually help you even get promoted or, earn some good respect in your career. The other suggestion I have is that you will need to balance your work and professional life because there can be conflicts at home and loss of some mental peace. Avoid arguments with your spouse and your children. And if you're in love relationship, then you need to manage that relationship as well. And in all these relationships, what we're really trying to do is manage this negative Mars energy. So you need to be on your best behavior with everybody. Don't get into fights. Take very good care of your mother's health and make sure you don't damage your relationship with her at this time. And this transit aspects the fifth house, so it's your ability to make decisions as far as managing finance is concerned. So there can be some challenges with that. So before you make any financial changes, financial decisions, make sure you get some good advice before you make risky changes in your financial structure as well, or financial planning, I should say, before you do that. There is one good impact of this transit is that if you were experiencing health issues previously, you now have good recovery energy that you get from Mars in the fifth house. So you feel better and you're able to enjoy life a little bit better as opposed to prior, because your general body energy is also better than before. Scorpio, for you, Cancer is the 9th house, and the 9th house rules your father. It rules you, the divine, your religion, and also your good luck. Scorpio Mars is your ascendant lord, and the debilitation of your ascendant lord is challenging on some levels. You may feel a lack of energy and you may not feel as enthusiastic about things. It will also give you lack of mental peace and domestic happiness. You may have some pent-up frustrations regarding your career and think about changing your job or even relocating to a different place in order to find better career satisfaction. Your relationship with your parents may also be disturbed at this time. So make sure you maintain cordial communication with both your parents. Don't say anything to hurt their feelings. This is a time when you really need to watch your communication with everybody, including your siblings, your friends, and your co-workers. There is a possibility that you may say things to people that matter to you that may hurt their feelings, and you may damage these relationships in the long run. Mars is debilitating in your 9th house, and your 9th house reflects your good luck factor. And so whatever you say or do could actually adversely affect your good luck. So this is a time to just kind of fly under the radar at work. Don't test your luck at this time. You may also be very tempted to make real estate transactions, which is buy and sell real estate during this time. You need to think very carefully before you do any real estate transactions. Luck is not on your side. So make sure you consult somebody that knows about these things before you make independent decisions. There's a chance that you may not make a wise decision because the 9th house, which is the house of good guidance, is a challenge at this time. So make sure you think through things very carefully. This is an expensive time for you. So if you do spend on very large ticket items, make sure you think through things very carefully before you spend on it. All your travel houses are getting aspected at this time, so make sure if you do travel, stay very safe. Don't try anything adventurous and stay away from unsafe areas. So just take very good care about your safety and don't try anything dangerous or adventurous at this time. Sagittarius. Sagittarius for you Cancer is the 8th house, and the 8th house is a house of sudden things, unexpected things, obstacles, and some struggles. Sagittarius, this transit provides the element of suddenness and unexpected events. These could relate to either your health or your finance or maybe even both. This transit could actually bring some new or transformatory energy into your life. You may feel like starting something new, but you need to really think hard and well before you jump into anything impulsively. Whether it's love, career, or finance, you may feel that urge that you want to do something new, but you're really gonna have to think hard and well before you do it. Maybe get some really good expert guidance before you just jump into things. And like I said, these things could be a love affair. It could mean something new in your career. It could also mean a new career, or it could mean doing something new from a finance perspective. As far as finance is concerned, you need to be very careful about financial planning. Don't make risky or impulsive choices regarding anything to do with your finances. At the same time, it's positive in terms of getting money suddenly from unearned income sources like insurance settlements or any inheritance that you were waiting for, some large gifts. So it's positive in terms of that, but not really in terms of any new financial planning. Take care of your health, especially your eating and food choices. There could be some digestive issues during this time. The other thing you need to do is be very cautious while driving and don't indulge in any physically risky activities. There's a possibility of getting injured at this time. Lastly, but certainly not the least, make sure your communication and speech stays very pleasant with everybody, especially family members. Now you may have a tendency to lose your patience with others and make angry remarks or get very combative or just have a temper tantrum with them. So you need to kind of control that. Now, especially if you have children, there will be a tendency to kind of get upset with them. The other thing will be that if you are not married or you have a love life, there's going to be a tendency to have quarrels with your love partner because the 5th house is ruled by Mars. So relationships that are ruled by the 5th house are your children and love life. So you really need to control how you talk to your children if applicable, or your love life if that applies. Otherwise, they can be pretty damaging. You could upset the other person pretty badly and may even damage relationships. Now, if you're like I said, in a love life, this could also mean a breakup for you because the 8th house is getting impacted. And so unless you watch your communication very carefully as far as love life is concerned, there could actually be an unpleasant breakup as well. So you need to really watch the tendency to not start fights. Watch your communication very carefully at this time. Capricorn. Capricorn for you Cancer is the 7th house, and the 7th house is the house of marriage, your marital partner, old business relationships, business partners. Capricorn, this is a time when there is going to be some disturbance within the marriage. And also if you have business partners, then that relationship will have some difficulties as well. Both you and your spouse may have ego issues, and this could result in some conflict between both of you. Your communication and speech will be the one that needs to be controlled. Because your second house is being aspected and it also has your ascendant lord Saturn in there, so you really should be the one that whatever it takes, you have to control your words. Although there is a disturbance in relationships, business owners can see business growth at this time, and those that are employed may actually see very good rewards and recognition based on their past efforts and hard work. This is a time when you may even see an increase in your savings and financial situation improves. Put a lot of effort on managing your financial affairs and increasing your savings at this time. This is a positive time as far as finance is concerned because your ascendant lord Saturn is being aspected in the second house. The second house, the house of finance. The last thing is that there's going to be some mental worry and stress within your domestic environment. Do your best to control your speech. Don't say things that are hurtful to people within your family, especially your spouse, and just try to keep your focus on financial management as opposed to destroying relationships. Enjoy the benefits and the rewards that you're getting, but don't get combative and get into discussions in the workplace. Aquarius. Aquarius for you, Cancer is the 6th house. The 6th house rules your health, legal matters, hidden enemies, and your co-workers. Aquarius Mars is debilitating in your 6th house, and it's not bad because this will actually improve your health in case you are experiencing health issues previously. Also, if there were issues at work that you were experiencing issues with co-workers or other disagreements at work, they have a chance to get resolved now. The best way to resolve these would be to iron out your differences in a friendly, amicable manner. Don't take the combative approach. Take the friendly, professional approach, and if you are having some issues getting along with co-workers, this is a wonderful time to get those resolved now. Also, any legal issues that you may have been involved with now have a chance of settling in your favor. But don't get involved in any new legal issues because those may not end well. So if anything from the past has a chance of settling in your favor. Also, on a positive note, you may be very motivated to start new things, move forward with new ideas in your career. But do that with caution and with good advice. It could actually give you very good positive results. Professions that are related to communication at work, writing, social media, and also those individuals that deal with foreign countries, foreign companies, anything to do with overseas business have the potential to do really well at this time. The condition is that there needs to be an element of positivity, honesty, and hard work involved. So if you keep all those things in mind, there's a chance that your career will do really well at this time. Just make sure you work very hard and with a very positive attitude and good energy. So if you do travel, take very good care of yourself. Drive carefully, take care of your belongings so they don't get lost, stolen, taken away from you. Drive very carefully, don't do anything adventurous or try anything risky. Now, in order to get all this positive energy from this debilitated Mars in the 6th house, I'm recommending you do 2 things so you get all these benefits. One is to have a very good physical exercise regimen. Now, exercise means it could be low impact, it could be high impact, it could mean just going for a walk every day, or it could mean yoga, going to a gym. The other thing is you need to drink lots and lots and lots of water, refreshing water, without mixing things into it. So if you do those 2 things, they actually activate a lot of good luck in your life and activates all the positive things that I've mentioned for Aquarius. Pisces. For you, Cancer is the 5th house, and so this is your ability to make good decisions. It's your love relationships, also your relationship with your children, and your creativity. Pisces, this transit provides you some disturbance in your key relationships in your life. If you have children, then they may present you with some challenges in how they are behaving with you and others. There may be some anger or temper tantrums that they have that you have to deal with, and that will cause you some tension as well. If you are in a love relationship, then your partner may have some frustrations and start unnecessary arguments with you. But the good news is that you may be able to manage these situations really well because of your own wisdom and guidance that you are able to provide to them. It won't be a very good idea for you to start fighting back, saying things to them that you regret later. So managing your own communication is something that you're going to have to do rather well at this time. You're going to have to provide the wisdom and guidance for them to handle their own frustrations at this time. Mars owns your ninth house, and the ninth house indicates your dharma or religion, but moreover it represents guru or mentor. And that's the role you are going to have to play in the lives of these people that are actually having issues in the relationships with you. So be the guide, the mentor for them, as opposed to starting the fight back. From a financial standpoint, you may be tempted to spend impulsively. Control that if you can't afford that. Otherwise, it could end up being a very expensive time. Also, any speculative or investment decisions should be made very carefully and with a lot of thought and good expert guidance. Chances are that any investment that you make may not end very well or very profitable for you. Take very good care of your father at this time as well. Make sure you stay close to him. Maintain a very good relationship with him at this time. He needs you, so make sure you tell him you love him and don't ruin your relationship with him. This transit is a time of transformation for you, and that transformation occurs through your good wisdom and the advice and the relationship that you have with other people. It is you who is going to have to stay calm, composed, and be the wisdom coach or the life coach, or be the voice of reason that helps them calm down. And this is your transformation. This is the test that you have to pass through this transit. So it's going to be very transformatory for you. You're going to understand how well you yourself can work under these trying conditions where everybody's having maybe a meltdown or not being true in the relationship, and how you can stay focused on the relationship and mend those relationships. This is how this transformatory energy will work for you to make you a better person in the relationship, make you the higher person in the relationship. Use this transformation energy very well for yourself. Become a better person in each relationship that tests you during this time. I hope everybody has a very safe and lucky transit. I'll see you on my next video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.